Hey everyone, welcome to this vlog-esque video where I will be putting my online store live. As you can see, I am about to click the button to remove the password to it and to publish my first product. And I'm really excited, but I want to take you on the journey that it took to get there, the inner work, the outer work, and all of that. So let's look at that together. So before I take you on this journey of how I created the product, how I'm launching it, and all of that good stuff, I want to talk to you about why I am even making this video, because I could just put it live in an online shop like a normal person instead of yapping about it. But you know me, I want to be transparent. I want to show you my journey. So that's why we're here. And I'm going to make matcha while I explain a bit further about why I'm making this video. Originally, I was going to make matcha. Then I decided I was going to make Brennnessel nettle tea, but now I think I am in need of a matcha after all. I thought I didn't need caffeine, but it turns out I do. So we're going to make matcha together. Let me clip this microphone so that I can talk to you while handling stuff. I know it's ridiculous that I have this huge microphone holder, but if I clip it to myself, it just doesn't sound as good. So I have to do it like this. So let us first... By the way, my plan with this big view camera was that you guys could see me make the matcha, but it turns out you can't. You can just see how incredibly messy my kitchen is. Well, you can't actually see that much of it, thank God. So the reason I am making this video, let's measure if the water has the right temperature, is that I want to be able to show you the whole process from start to finish and really include the parts that aren't as glamorous, which is the procrastination, the doubt, the fear, the shadow work, all of that, because there's a lot of inner work that goes into, you know, something like this, figuring out something like this, and actually starting to create a product and put a shop live and all of that. It's 83 degrees. That's okay. It should be 80, but 83 is fine. I want to encourage you to do the same and to follow whatever you want to do, because honestly, it's a tough world out there and it's not fun to live under capitalism and not follow what feels aligned. And it's a scary thing, but in my eyes, it's worth it to at least try to get out of this capitalistic, hellish society by trying to do your own thing, which doesn't really take you outside of it, because I'm still creating an online shop and all of that, so that's still capitalism, if you will, but at least it's something that's more aligned with me than my normal job. So I want to encourage you to just follow. Look at that, it's so nice and foamy. Yeah, you can't really see it unless I like spill it on the whole counter, but I'll show you later. So I want to encourage you to follow whatever little or big idea you have, because it's just worth it to try and follow what you love, instead of telling yourself all the time that you're not good enough for it, that it's too much work, that you don't have time for it, that you don't have money for it, that it's not that important anyway. Because those are the things that I usually told myself until I really started my YouTube channel 7 years ago. And even since then, it's not like I still don't think these things. So I want to make this video to help you get out of that and maybe inspire you a little bit. I'm gonna just whisk it a bit next to the microphone. Maybe that's like an ASMR effect. Nice. It's so frothy. Let me pick up the phone and show you. Look at that. If you didn't grow up with a lot of money, like I did, not that I noticed. My mom did a great job raising me and my brother. We didn't really realize that we were poor until probably I saw that other people had a lot more stuff and a lot more activities that they did. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a lot of money, there's no time resources and no financial resources to really follow your interests, go deeper with your interests, have proper hobbies and all of that. And that was, I would say, the main issue for me, that even as I grew up, I felt like I couldn't invest in my hobbies. All right, the oat milk is on the stove. Why did I talk like that? And I think this whole process of launching my shop and creating this product is a really beautiful way of freeing myself from those boundaries. My whole journey on YouTube has been a journey of that, because I was so afraid to invest in myself. I wouldn't even invest in a 25-euro microphone in 2018. And then I did, and it changed my work, and my sound quality was better. But I just didn't see the worth before that. I was like, no, I can save those 25 euros. And this shop that I'm doing is the ultimate jump out of that money limited mindset of having to save money all the time. And I'm allowing myself to invest not even a lot, but at least a little into myself. And I think that's really cool. And I think if you grew up like me, this is such a great learning experience. Like creating your own product, launching your own shop. It's such a teaching. That's not a word. It's such a experience that like teaches you a lot, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not a native speaker, for anyone who's new here. But also it feels like a commitment when you invest in something, even if it's just 25 euro. And I would just not commit to my hobbies, to my growth, to my to investing in myself. It felt like a commitment that I wasn't ready to make. And now 7 years later, I'm still working through that. And this is a huge step in that direction of feeling better about that. So I'm really excited. Okay, time to pour the matcha. I can't show you how I pour it because I always hold this spoon so that it doesn't spill. You know, if you hold something like this or like this, the whole thing doesn't spill everywhere. Oh, it kind of spilled everywhere. Just a little. Okay, that's strong. I made that really strong because I was probably busy yapping and I put a lot of matcha in there. So yeah, essentially what I want you to take from that is it's nice to invest in yourself. It's nice to follow your dreams and to believe in yourself and to create what you want to create, because in the end it will make you feel more aligned, more happy with yourself, and it's worth it. And with this video, I want to show that, I want to celebrate that commitment to myself, and that you can have to yourself as well, maybe. So I want to show you everything. I want to talk about the procrastination, the doubt, the anxiety that goes into this, and the not wanting to continue, but doing it anyway, that goes into this as well. And hopefully that can be an inspiration to you. Oh, that's hot. Okay, that's good. I think I heated the milk too much. But anyway, let's get to the next point of the video. This microphone setup is the funnest thing in this whole video. So let's do my makeup while I give you some context about who I am and what I've been doing. Because I think context is so important when people, and I know people have the tendency to do that, people compare each other to each other, themselves to each other, whatever. And I think it's so useless to do that because we all have such different contexts. And I just want to give you some context so you know where I'm coming from, where I'm starting from. I already talked about my childhood shortly, but I'm not going to go into that much detail. So who am I? I have been making YouTube videos for like 7 or 8 years now, and it's always about tarot, empowering other people to read tarot for themselves. I mostly want people to be empowered to kind of do their own spiritual stuff. That's mostly what I'm trying to do with this YouTube channel. And I never really earned much money with it because I always had my day job on the side. So I would make my YouTube videos as a creative outlet to just kind of have my own thing that I can creatively do besides my job. Sometimes it would feel more aligned and good, and I would feel really good about my videos. Sometimes I'd feel less aligned with the topics I spoke about. And it was a whole process throughout those 7 years or 8 years. I don't remember right now. And I also sometimes started selling tarot readings. Then I stopped again when I didn't have time for it. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But generally, it was always a hobby, and it still is. And it's something that I'm passionate about, but that I'm not investing so much time in that it makes me a lot of money or anything like that. I don't make more than like 2 digits with the stuff that I do on YouTube and on Patreon right now. I also started a Patreon a while ago, right? I forgot to talk about that. Then I took a long break from it, and now I started again, and I'm really happy about it because it's really inspiring me to create, because I feel like, the people who subscribe to me, I owe them something. Literally, because they are paying to receive content from me. I never used ads. I never did anything like that to promote my business. I really just made content because it felt good. Why did I want to do it in the first place? Because I work in marketing, and in marketing, you have to, I wouldn't say you have to follow rules, but you have one clear goal, which is to make sales with whatever you're trying to sell. You can't really do creatively what you want to do. And my whole Anya Esma online presence, whether that is YouTube or Instagram or anything, is really designed for me to do whatever the hell I want to do creatively and not make me money, because it's not about that. It's a hobby. It's something I like to do. So I didn't want the same constraints as in my day job, where I have to market myself all the time. I have to get more subscribers. I have to get more followers, more Patreon subscriptions, whatever it is. I never cared about that. I mean, of course, you deep down do care, but I didn't take action in order to get more of that because it wasn't my goal. My goal was my own creative expression. And I didn't want marketing speak in my videos, I just wanted to vibe and want you guys to vibe with me. And it's going to be like that still. I'm not going to turn into a marketing monster. But the main difference is that now I found a product, I've created a product that I feel so passionate about that I don't mind doing a little bit of marketing for it, that I don't mind selling it, If you're really convinced of something, then it comes more easily. So this kind of feels like a new beginning for me, and something that I'm actually committed to, and that I'm really excited about marketing, and even making this video was a lot of fun for it. So next, we're going to talk about how I actually got the idea for the product. But since I'm not done with my makeup yet, you're going to get a time lapse of me finishing all of that. All right, now let's sit on the couch together. I forgot my matcha. There we go, very important. So Now, while we're on the couch, I hope you have a drink as well. We're going to talk about how I got the idea for the product. The idea for the product that I created the past few months originated from an issue that I had myself recently. Since about 2022, so since the pandemic, I've been struggling with doom scrolling a lot. If you're not familiar with the term doom scrolling, it's essentially when you are on your phone, just scrolling for reels, shorts, TikToks, whatever there is or whatever existed since 2020 or after 2020 got invented. And you're not really doing anything creatively, you're not really taking much from it, maybe some like fun insights, but it's in the end not really something that nourishes your brain. And a lot of people struggle with doom scrolling, myself included. And I realized that it really divorced me from my spirituality in a way, because I felt like before, when I started on my spiritual journey in 2017-18, I had been using my me time, or even like refused meeting other people or spending time with my family in order to have more me time so that I could learn about tarot, meditate, deepen my witchcraft skills, do rituals, do spell work, and all of that. And in 2020, not only did the pandemic happen, but I entered into a very terrible relationship that also drained all of my creative energy from me. So that combination led to me doing a lot of doom scrolling and feeling disconnected from my spirituality. Luckily, now I have the best relationship that I could ever wish for. I have the best boyfriend ever. But reconstructing that creativity and getting out of that habit of doom scrolling was still difficult for me. So I realized last year that I was still stuck in that doom scrolling mode a lot of the time. I really tried to get off of it a couple of times, but it didn't really work very well, and I always went back to it. And I would see that even if I got time alone, even if I got that valuable time alone where I'm not working, I'm not spending time with my boyfriend, I'm not spending time with friends, I'm not spending time with family, I don't have to do any chores, the real essence of me time, I would waste that. And I would be overwhelmed with all of the things that I could be doing. I could be going outside, I could meditate, I could read tarot for myself, I could journal. And I just could not get myself to do any of those things. And I ended up thinking, well, what kind of difference does it make? I might as well just keep scrolling. And it went on like that for a good while, where I just I couldn't access my spirituality anymore. That's what it felt like. And because of that, I wanted to develop a little guide that would help me have certain practices at the ready to not fall into that, oh, I could do that and that, but I'm not going to do any of that. Instead, I wanted like a real guide that would say, do this, then do this, then do this to make the best of your me time. So I already had this idea sometime last year that I wanted to create this guide, and I really procrastinated on it forever. People, I procrastinated, seriously. I wanted to make this PDF sometime last year already, because at some point last year, I really started tuning more into the practices that I had been using before, or new practices that really helped me feel like I made the best of my me time. I found those practices, I did them, but the step to like putting them into an actual product, into like a sheet, a PDF, an ebook, whatever you want to call it, it eluded me. The ability to do that eluded me. So I had my own practices, my own spiritual things that I re-engaged with, but putting it into a comprehensive guide for people to have like their own little mini spiritual retreat, I just couldn't bring myself to do that. If you've watched till here, please do consider subscribing or liking this video. It does help. It does help a lot. And I'm really excited to share this. I feel like I can be really honest with you, and I'm very happy about that. So let's put on some jewelry and talk about what motivated me in the end to actually do it and to actually create the PDF and get all of this rolling. Here we are at my little jewelry station. Oh, also look at this little, I made that little chicken dish. Chicken dish sounds sounds so wrong. I'm vegan. I would never make an actual chicken dish to eat, just so you know. But this is a chicken jewelry dish, and I made it. So let's pick out some jewelry that I want to wear. I know, it's messy here. Alright, here we are in my bedroom to put on some jewelry, and we're back with the funny little microphone holder. I feel like a star holding that, you know? Anyways, I feel like I'm interviewing myself or something. So let us try on some jewelry and talk, because the thing is that now, as you know, I have this idea and I'm procrastinating on it, and I want to tell you about what actually got me ready to start with the idea and to really execute it. Also, I got a second earlobe piercing last year, and it's finally ready to get new earrings in it, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm going to try some combinations, which my earlobes will probably not be happy about. As you can see, this one doesn't even want to go through. And that's the old one that I've had for like 10 years. There we go. I think this combo is very like elven princess, I would call it. I'm going to come closer so you can see it better. Cute, isn't it? God, I love that I have 2 earlobe piercings now. But I think I want to do something different today. So what motivated me was, as always, a little bit of pressure, but not too much. Because my day job, you know, I do marketing, as I said before, and it was going not so well for me because the company was making decisions that I didn't agree with, that I didn't love. And that basically pushed me back towards that idea within me that had been now gestating for over a year, probably. Can you hear how that's clinking? I love this. So I think that's the look I want. It pushed me back to this idea that I had for a while, and that's why I'm not mad at myself for procrastinating. I call it procrastinating because that's just what it's called, but I don't think I really procrastinated. I was just waiting for the right time for it, and maybe you are too. And maybe that time will come and it will show itself and you will know. Which is not to say that I quit my day job or anything like that, or that I'm planning on doing that right now, but it just renewed my commitment to the projects that I had for myself, because, you know, you want a fulfilled career, a fulfilled work life, and when you don't feel like you're getting that, then you start doing your own little hobby stuff, which doesn't have to be a business even, but you essentially just start finding things that you're aligned with, and that's really important, to tune into your spiritual gifts, by which I don't mean gifts that are spiritual, but I just mean talents that you have that show you the path of what your purpose is. Because I truly believe that we all have things that we're naturally good at. These are talents, but they are also spiritual gifts that we have for a reason. And working with those is a lot more fulfilling than trying to fit in somewhere where your gifts aren't as appreciated, maybe. I have my earring combo. I already was wearing some necklaces. I think I'll stick with them. Now I want to tell you about the baby steps that I took in order to really create the thing I wanted to create and actually launch it. Because now I've talked about what motivated me to do it, what pushed me to do it. Maybe you can find a similar motivation to that, or maybe you still need that pressure. You know, a lot of people only get under that pressure to make a business when they are let go from their job or something, which luckily didn't happen to me, but still a rupture, a tear occurred in my relationship with my day job. So that's basically what pushed me to really motivated me and showed me I have to move on this. I can't always procrastinate on these things that really mean something to me and that could really help people, because I feel like I can make an impact with that goes beyond my YouTube videos, beyond my Instagram, etc. There came a period of doubt, which I will talk about in a second, and then I will take you through the baby steps that maybe can help you move more on what motivates you and what you want to do as well. So here's the look. 。 . . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . 。 . . 。 . . . . . 。 .
. . . . . . .
So we're back on the couch, and there I was motivated, I had my idea, and I wanted to start. But then I had a little bit of a crisis of faith about what I'm actually good at and what I actually want to do. Because my mind was like, but what about YouTube? You make YouTube videos. What about Instagram? You should make Instagram reels. And you can see on my Instagram, I made a lot of reels in the last few months. There was a period when I basically posted every day, maybe, or every second day. It really took me reflecting on my own strengths, both my talents, but also what I had been doing until this point in my life, to realize that it didn't make sense to try and go down the route of being an influencer, doing sponsorships, and trying to make money that way, because I'm just not as good at social media as other people. I'm not as good at creating reels. I'm not as good at creating content, which is fine. I'm not putting myself down. I'm good at it too, but all the work that goes into it, it's not really what is fun for me. So, what I eventually remembered, let's say, is what the hell I'm even doing with my life, which is that for about almost 10 years, for 9 years, I've been working in e-commerce. I've been creating brands. I've been creating online shops. I've been marketing products, not being an influencer and doing affiliate deals and all of that. That is just not my expertise. Then I realized that my idea of making a product, this little spiritual retreat me time thing that you can do whenever and wherever you want, this product that I had in my mind was perfect for that. It's like the e-commerce product. I can make an online shop for that and all of that. But knowing how much work an online shop is, for example, because I had started an Etsy before as well, and even Etsy was connected for me with so much fear because you technically needed an imprint that had your address so people could just come to your house and stuff like that. It scared the living shit out of me to do that, and so did making a website. But I knew that that is where my strength lies, in creating a product, making something beautiful digitally that can help people, that is not priced too high, and that I can market through my YouTube videos and through my Instagram, because I like doing that. So when I made that decision, and that was a difficult and a necessary decision, I was able to prioritize better. What do I mean by that? I legitimately decided that I'm not going to prioritize YouTube videos and I'm not going to prioritize Instagram Reels anymore, because I want to focus on making that product, because that felt like the next step. It's so easy to get stuck in your everyday life and to just continue what has been working and what you've been doing and not changing anything, just sticking with that and forgetting your bigger ideas and just focusing on the little stuff that you got to do every day. But I didn't want to do that anymore, because I knew that then I'd never open a shop. If with whatever free time I had, I used that on YouTube or I used that on Instagram Reels, then it's not going to happen. But in my mind, the resistance to creating a shop with all of the legal stuff, with all of the costs that are also connected to it, was just too much for me before that. And, I realized if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it, because now is the perfect time. I have the time to do it. I can prioritize doing it. And if I don't do it now, then essentially I'm never going to do it. That's it. And maybe that's something that can motivate you too, something that shows you, hey, maybe I'm in the same position. Maybe I just got to prove myself that I actually want to do it, instead of always just thinking about it. So let's talk about how I prioritized, and let's talk about the 5 steps that I did kind of to create the product and launch my shop and all of that. The inner work it took, the going through resistance it took, rewiring my brain to be like, it's now or it's never, because the timing is perfect if you're honest with yourself. So let's talk about those steps to inspire you as well. Okay, so let's talk about the things I did to really prioritize and really get started then on my idea. Because I'm going to mention some products here, I'm just going to say it's not sponsored. If anything, this video was sponsored by me because I'm talking about my product, but it's not sponsored by anyone else because the first step that I did is that I created a Notion board, and I like Notion for some things. So, yeah, not sponsored, but I want to mention it. So I made a Notion list essentially. I can put a screenshot up here with some blurred out stuff because there's priorities on it that are secret. um, but that's what I did. And I committed to actual dates when I wanted these things to be done. Because the difficult thing is, as I said, there's always a YouTube video to edit. There's always a YouTube video to film because I'm so full of ideas. There's always a reel that I could be filming. There's always something I could be doing that has nothing to do with creating the website and actually creating something sustainable that I can then market. Now, that's why I knew that I needed to treat this more like a work project and not like a hobby because I really wanted to get more serious about it and prioritize it more. I hope the clanking of my earrings isn't too loud. Sorry. So, step one was making a Notion board and committing to dates. And I can tell you that the Notion board said to launch my website on 1st of March. And then stuff happened, and it is now beginning of May as I'm recording this. So, yeah, I'm 2 months late, but it doesn't matter. It still helped me prioritize because whenever I had time to do something for this hobby of mine, I knew I had this list to go to rather than always question myself in my head. Should I be editing a YouTube video? Should I be, I don't know, doing whatever else that I could be doing to be creative? So it did take some discipline and you got to sit down and actually make this PDF, even if you're not in the mood for it. And that leads up to the second point really well, because the second point is that I just started instead of telling myself that I had to wait for the perfect time. I have to wait for the spiritual spark to hit me. And then I would sit down and just write the PDF. No, what I did was I found the things that bring me in the right mindset to be creative. But at the same time, to be spiritually attuned, things like meditating, things like being creative, painting, doing whatever the hell I want to do, sitting on the balcony with a cup of tea, all of these things can prepare me because I need a lot of times of rest so that I can, within just a few hours, do work that other people maybe do over a few days. And I work in bursts essentially. And knowing that and acknowledging that at 33 years old, finally, or back then I was still 32, allowed me to just know that I can predict my productivity well enough to be able to say, today is when I write the PDF. There's no way around that. We're going to do it, but I'm going to do it in a way where I know that I'll be ready. I'm going to do everything I can, give myself all the caffeine that I might need, give myself the tea that I need, the outside time, the journaling time, the meditation time, all of that in order to then be ready to create this PDF that I've been wanting to write. So it's not so much about this imagination of waking up and being in the right mindset, but it is about knowing what puts you in the right mindset and then doing those things so that you are. Because I'd been procrastinating on it a while and I knew it's not going to happen unless I make it happen. And I love being slow and soft with myself and telling myself, you don't need to be productive, it's all okay. But in this particular instance, I really needed to be tough with myself and to tell myself, you got to do this now, but we're going to do it in a way that is still good for your mental and physical health. You know, I don't do unhealthy stuff in order to achieve it, but it still takes some little amount of discipline and some gentle force to make myself do it. So maybe you can take that from it too. Maybe you are in such a soft place that you can't really push yourself to do certain things, but maybe you have to in order to feel good about yourself, because it's not always forced. Sometimes it feels good once you're done with it, and knowing that and realizing that makes getting things done a lot easier. So basically, I created the whole PDF within probably a few days. I designed it in Canva, like using nice graphics, made a Canva subscription so I can design it as well. So I have access to more graphics. So that was a little investment that I did as well. Why am I putting that in quotes? It's an investment to spend like €10 a month on something like Canva Pro. It's an investment. I have to give myself credit for that. So I had to figure out now which platform did I want to use in order to sell it. For those of you who have thought about or have done an online shop know that there's Etsy, there's Shopify, there's Squarespace, and a lot of other marketplaces probably. But those are like, I would say, the biggest three. Whereas with Etsy, you don't have your own website, obviously. And Etsy wasn't an option for me. I had done that before for my tarot readings, and they keep hiking their rates that you have to pay from the product that you're selling. So it's not really sustainable. And I want to build something that's sustainable, even if it means that I have to invest a bit more, because it would turn out that the Etsy costs would have been a lot lower than all of the stuff that I have to pay for with the website tool that I have now. So then the decision was between Squarespace and Shopify. I wanted to do Squarespace because you can design things better with it. But it turned out that with Squarespace, it's not so much about having a shop. So they have less shop functionality, and you can't actually sell digital products on Squarespace, or at least it's really complicated from what I could see. So I was like, okay, it has to be Shopify. Once again, the video was not sponsored by Shopify either. I wish it was. So then I started making the shop with Shopify eventually, which was a big step for me because I had a lot of anxiety from that, because I know there's so many settings, there's so much stuff you have to do. They always picture it to be so simple and so easy, and you can get started within, I don't know, an hour. But it's really not, especially not in Germany, because I'm German, I'm from Germany, I live in Germany. So you have a lot of legal things that you have to stick to with your website. And getting all of that sorted, it takes time and it gives you a lot of anxiety. And it brought up so much doubt in me, all of the legal red tape, all of the things that I had to get, like documents or legal texts. And it brought up so much doubt in me that I just wanted to stop. But because I had already gone through that cycle of, if it's not now, you're never going to do it because you have so much time right now and you're free to do it, I knew that I had to push through that adversity. And most importantly, all of these inner roadblocks kind of got even worse, exacerbated. Is that what you say, the word you use? They got worse because point 5, I had to actually invest in myself. And if I had not dared to do that, this wouldn't be happening. Because I can tell you that opening the shop, I needed the Shopify subscription, which is like $20 a month. I have Canva Pro, which is $10. I have the ability to sell digital products on Shopify. You need an extra app for that, which is, I think, like 15 or 13 a month. And then I also needed something like a service that you use in order to not have to post your real home address. So people can't just come to your home. Remember, I was afraid of that. So I needed a service for that as well, which is 13 a month. So if you take all of that together, that's already, I can't calculate that right now, but it's over €50 of monthly costs just to even start and run the shop. And that's an investment in myself that I'm willing to do now, and that thankfully I'm able to do because I was always very frugal and I have a day job that pays me well. So I'm happy to say that I can do that. But you would laugh at the fact that this is a big investment for me. Because for some people, you would be like, yeah, $50 a month is not a lot. But that's not really my mindset around savings, around, if you always to everything say it's not a lot, then you end up with a lot of monthly costs. And I don't want to do that. I'm very good at handling money. I'm very good at saving money. Let's say it like that. I'm very good at not spending money most of the time. So daring to even, do the Shopify subscription, which is like, I don't remember, 18 or $20, I guess, a month, that was already stressful. And then I hit another roadblock when I realized I can't sell digital products on Shopify either unless I make another subscription. And or my brain was going into this mode of like, now I have to find another way to sell it. I have to find an app that is free on Shopify, but there's no free app to sell digital products. And the research that would have gone into that would have just held me up longer. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to take these 13 € and just say I'm going to do it. And honestly, that was very freeing. And as I said in the beginning of the video, having grown up with not a lot of money or basically no money and no time to invest in hobbies and in interests, this was very healing for me to just overcome that mental blockage that I had by just throwing money at it because it's something I was never able to do in my life. So it was healing in a way to just say, okay, I'm going to spend the 13 € a month to do it rather than spending hours researching it and maybe coming up with nothing. So not everything has to be free. I know other people don't struggle with that as much as I do. So maybe this is not a point that is relevant to all people, because I know some people are very good at investing their hobbies, but I think you'd be surprised if you look at what are you willing to spend money on and what are you not willing to spend money on. What's the difference between the two? Why do you think some things are worth spending money on, like physical products, but then when it comes to maybe food or sustenance or um, sports, you think it's not worth spending money on? That's something that I used to struggle with as well. And same with being able to spend money on your hobby, but then not wanting to spend money on making a website for it or starting to sell things for it. So, yeah, think about what has value to you, what you spend money on, and where your brain is saying, we're not spending money on that, and why. Plus, I've mentioned this before in my old job, I also got into this mindset of being super frugal and that every minute you work has to be worth the money for the company, because I was working 6 years ago in a company that had just basically the CEOs plus me plus a few other people. So I worked directly with the CEOs, which means that I saw the struggles that CEOs go through very close up and internalized them. And whenever they were worried about money, I was worried about money and about how my work had to be worth it, had to be worth the money that we're making, that they are investing in me. And that I couldn't waste time with being creative, with just doing anything, just not doing things that bring in money. And that mindset was kind of a blessing because it showed me the value of what I can do with my time, but it also was a curse in the sense that it made me more likely to not do creative things. Like I wouldn't sit down to create the PDF because I was like, is it worth my time? Or I would cancel my Patreon because I'd be like, is it worth my time? But also I didn't have energy for my Patreon. That's a whole other story anyways. The point is I had to overcome this mindset of always valuing money versus time that I had. Maybe one day I'll have to do that again if I really commit to this business and make it the only thing that I earn money with, then of course I will have to. But right now it's more about building and about being whimsical and doing whatever the fuck I want with it and seeing where it goes. And also I have the great privilege that I've been working in e-commerce, creating online shops for 9 or almost 10 years. So I could use that and just have fun with it and not be so scared of it. So in a way it was easier for me than it would have been to some people, but it was still a huge thing to actually go and create the shop, invest in it, get all the legal stuff set up, and dealing with all the fear surrounding that, because that had been a huge blockage for me on YouTube as well, on Instagram as well, that technically I would have to publicize my private address in Germany in order to do any of this legally, even having a YouTube channel. But I ended up solving that issue. Yay. So yeah, that's all the mental and physical and real and unreal hurdles that I had to overcome in order to create this product. And I hope that you can vibe with these things and that you can maybe be inspired by some step of this journey to also do what you love and to either make it a business or at least invest more money in it. For example, if you want to paint, I know painting takes a lot of money as well. You need the colors, you need a canvas, etc. Actually daring to invest that money while knowing that it's not going to make you any money back, maybe because it's just a hobby, is also something you have to kind of convince yourself to do. Some people do, at least I do. So maybe that part of my journey is helpful for you and helpful. Well, I can't speak anymore. I've been speaking for too long. So lastly, what even is this product that I've been working on the past few months and that I'm finally putting live along with you at the end of this video? It is a guide for the best me time you've ever had, hopefully, because it's like a spiritual little mini retreat that you can do within 2 to 3 hours whenever you want to. And it guides your me time in a way towards more self-love. That's the whole theme of the PDF that I created, of the little guide that I created, by giving you the practices that you are supposed to follow during these 2 to 3 hours. It just takes away the guesswork of what do I want to do? What should I be doing spiritually? It just gives you a guide that goes from exploring your emotions, making room for them, journaling about it, reading tarot about it, etc. And it just takes you through a whole process, also including affirmations. And that's why I created it, because I just wanted to be a really easy thing that you can just purchase now, and then next time you have me time, you just open that PDF either on your phone, on your iPad, or whatever you have, or your laptop even, and then just execute it, so to speak. Just do whatever it says. It's a really nice written guide that you can follow that gets you into the vibe, into the right ritual mindset. And then, yeah, in the end, you will be rejuvenated, you'll be happy, hopefully, and you will have used your me time in a way that's really productive and really good for you, instead of doom scrolling or instead of guessing all the time, oh, I should be doing this spiritually, I should be doing this meditation, I should be doing this tarot spread. All of that is taken away because you can just focus on that PDF. And maybe next time you have me time, you feel inspired to do other things. That's totally fine. You don't have to use this PDF every time. But whenever you want to get back to self-love and get back to a baseline of I'm doing something spiritual for my me time, then this guide is supposed to help you with that. And it's priced very reasonably. I'm pricing it at €11. So that means you get 2 to 3 hours entertainment for $11, which is not a lot in my opinion. Because if you go to the cinema, you pay like €25 nowadays. If you get a coffee, you pay €7 nowadays, or a dollar wherever you're at. Which reminds me, I also want to release this in German, but for now it's just in English. So sorry to my German followers for now, but you can do the English one as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this video probably. So yeah, that's the product that we're putting live right now. You can purchase it, you can get it, you can try it. And I'm really excited about that. And I just wanted you to be here for that, because I've been making YouTube videos for so long, and so many of you have accompanied me in the comments for so long. So here we are, just doing this together, and I hope it's inspiring you, and I just wanted you here for it. So let's finally get to the big moment where I put my shop live and you can actually look at it. It's not a huge thing. I'm building this up as if I designed a whole shop. It's basically just the product. The back end stuff, that's where the real work is, not the front end, the design or anything like that. It's really all the setting up, all the anxiety that goes into it, and all of the work that goes into creating the digital little spiritual me time retreat, all about self-love. All of that was the big work. So if you look at it and you're like, that shop is basic as shit, then yes, it is. It's simple. I'm keeping it simple. It's just one product. Hopefully, I will get to develop more PDFs. I have a lot of plans in my head of how I want to offer, whoa, my hair stuck in my earring the whole time? It looked really stupid. I hope not. Anyways, I have a lot of ideas that I want to follow about creating PDFs, like guided me time PDFs, or with a friend or with a loved one or whatever. There's a lot more coming, hopefully. Um, and this is the first step, and I'm really excited about it. So let's put it live. Okay, here we are. It's time. We're back where we started, and I'm going to put the shop live. And yay, celebrate with me. If you have a drink, just clink with me. Let me get my matcha and clink with you. Okay. I dropped the microphone. I'm too excited. So let's click the button. There it is. It's live. And there's my first product. I'm really excited about this. I've already seen it 1,000 times, so I'm less excited than I should be, because during creating this, which was a whole process, as you know, I've already seen this a million times. But anyway, it is available now. You can shop it now, and I'm really, really proud of it. So if you want to upgrade your me time, do check it out. If you don't, then at least like this video or subscribe if you watch till here. You can also sign up for my newsletter, so when I make new stuff like this, you will get notified. You can also do that on my website, so take a look. Thank you so much for going through this process with me and accompanying me. I really hope that I could inspire you to go after your dreams, encourage you to just do something creative, do something you want to do, and leave this video feeling better and inspired and good and rejuvenated. Just like if you would use my PDF Me Time guide that makes you feel rejuvenated. Okay, that was weird and awkward. I already told you I'm not one for marketing speak. But anyways, do go into my online shop if you want to check it out. And thank you so much. It means a lot to me that I get to share my thoughts with all of you, and that you listen to it, and that we can all chat about it in the comments, hopefully. Tell me your story. Tell me what's going on with you, what you're working on, what your roadblocks are. Maybe we can help each other in the comments, because I'm sure that I will meet a lot of other roadblocks and hesitations and shadow work that I have to do and all of that stuff. So thank you for watching, and I will see you very, very soon.